All right, thanks for your interest in renting this RV. So let me go through the process of what you need to do to set up camp and all the information you need. Okay. First of all, come over here. Before you unhitch your car, you want to make sure that you're level left and right. And to be able to figure that out, check the leveling, make sure that your bubble's in the middle. This one's good, bubble's right there. But if I wasn't good, okay, I'd have to put blocks under the wheels. So I provide several different blocks that you can either find in this front compartment. Okay, it's gonna be in here. So those brown pavers, or there's more blocks in the storage right here. So take this out, use it to level it, and you're good to go. Once you are level, okay, you'd go ahead and unhitch your car. This takes a 7-pin hitch if you're gonna use it. There's always make sure you always use this pin when you are on your car so it doesn't pop off. Okay, we have an electric jack. This will go up and down. You got your light. If the jack isn't working, okay, and you have to manually raise it or lower it, it's very easy to do. You take this top thing off, okay, and in there, in here, there is another jack or a crank. Use this crank. It's going to go inside. Then just crank it so you get level up and down. Okay. You have an option to rent this with, I could provide you propane, or you could use your own. I could put 2 propane tanks, 2 40-pound propane tanks. If you hook up your own, not a problem, but there is an arrow right here. You point it to the left, point it to the right. It will determine which propane tank you're using. I suggest you just point it to one so that when it runs out, you know you're halfway through. If you have it straight down, then it's feeding from both sides. I don't recommend that. You could, but I don't recommend it because you don't ever really know how much propane you have. Okay, here's your battery. Battery's full right now. All right, so level that out. Once you get your car out, now you want to level up and down, or this way. Okay, back and front, you want to get that leveled. And to check if you are leveled, check this bubble, level, or you come up and you check this bubble. Okay, and I like the other one better. Okay, so you raise this accordingly until you're level. After you're level with this, then it's time to take down the stabilizer jacks, which are these. All right, so if you have good footing, you probably don't need to put extra pads, but it's never a bad idea. Try not to overextend these levelers, these stabilizers. These stabilizers are just for stabilizing the RV. It's not there to level your RV. So don't use these jacks to try to level yourself. You got to level it before you put it down. Okay? These jacks are just so that the RV doesn't bounce around when you're inside. All right. So when you want to put the beds down, okay, they're all you gotta first unlock it. These are all unlocked. I know because the keyhole is up and down. If it's left and right, then it is unlocked. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower that side, unlock this side, and pull it down. There we go. Fairly easy. There's pretty much not much more to that. Once we get inside, we'll pop it up even more. Okay. All right. While we're out here, if you plan on using the stove, the inside stove, and you need to use the fan, the vent fan, just gotta make sure that these are open. Okay, so the vent blows out through here. And when you're not using it, go ahead and lock that up. We got speakers outside, Bluetooth speakers. You control them from the inside. More power here, and if you're gonna want to hook up a TV out here, that's possible too. But probably not gonna do that if you're going camping. All right, so same thing over here. This bed out here pops out. I know this is unlocked because it's pointing up and down, so I want to make sure that before I even travel, when we're leaving, make sure that these are horizontal, or those are locked up. All right. Out here is your power. So this could plug into a regular house, okay? Or if you are at a campsite, they have 35 watts or 30 watts or 30 amps. Please use this, and this is a surge protector. So plug in before you turn anything on inside, so get the power juiced up, then you can turn in the power inside. Okay. All right. Here's your cable. Outdoor shower, that takes a different key. If you're camping where they have water, okay, they have like a faucet that you can connect to the RV. I provide a hose and a filter, so connect that. This will connect to the spigot, then your hose comes in here, then you're set with water for the RV. If your site doesn't include water and you have to bring in your own water, your campsite doesn't have water, no problem. So you go to fill this up. This is potable water only. I think there's 20 some gallons, 35 gallons you can put in there before you go into your campsite, then you're good to go. Okay, but after you use up all that water, this is all fresh water, then you're out of luck. Okay, low drain points. At the end of your trip, you want to open these up so that all your water drains out. So that's how to drain the, you guys won't need to really do that. I would just turn this one on if you don't want to haul water while you're driving. So that will empty out all your fresh water tank. Okay, hey, let's go inside. Oh, at the end of your trip, when it's time to empty the black water or gray water tank, this is how to do it. Okay, black water is everything that goes in your toilet. Gray water is everything that goes in your sink. Okay, if you are at a campsite where it's full hookups and you have sewage. All right, so your hose is right here. But if you need something longer, there's more hose inside the cabin. Okay, so after you empty your black, go ahead and shut that off, then go ahead and finish off with your gray water. Okay, at your dump station, if it's possible and there's a hose there, this right here is basically the power washer. Okay, the power washes the inside of the black tank. Try to power wash the inside, do the power washing, then empty your black, power wash some more, empty your black. The reason for that is you want to make sure that, oh, here's your step, take that, opens like this. Okay, once you go inside, here's your fuse box down here. If there's any electrical issues, check that first. You see your the AC's on. Your power for your light is right here, and all the lights have its own button, so you can turn it on and off for each one. but some of these lights, they'll stay on with or without this. So those lights over there, you gotta turn them off individually. This is your awning control. This will bring out your awning. Okay, that side kind of gets stuck, so give it a little hand. Now we're good to go. So we can bring it all the way out. And if you bring it out, there is a point where you need to stop. I'll show you that. It's right there. As soon as you see that little thing come off, then you're good to go. And to bring it back in, anytime it's windy or if you're leaving the campsite, you want to make sure that this is brought in, okay? Because one of the last things you want to do is have this blow away, because this is if this gets damaged, you're probably stuck at the campsite, and this is going to be thousands of dollars to replace. So bring that in. Well, at the end of the camping trip, this is kind of a two-man job, so you want to make sure, especially if you're under a tree, okay, because there's debris that gets caught on top, and as you're bringing it in, it gets rolled in. So you want to have somebody grab this broom and just sweep, 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 sweep as you're bringing it in. Okay, so we'll bring that in later. Up here is carpet for the outside if you want to use that. Okay, this goes back. All right, so in here we got fridge. The fridge, there's sensors inside. Right now freezer's at 4 degrees, and the main cabin, the main one, is at 38. Okay, if it's starting to not cool, turn these fans on. Okay, keep your, and I also have this, and you can see we're right at the right safe temperature. Lock it out. Make sure you hear that click. This one's getting really icy, nice and cool. I'm gonna turn off the air for now. All right, and over here are some of your sensors. So if you push this part, it says battery. I can see my battery's full. Fresh water. If I was at a campsite that didn't have a spigot outside that's connected, I want to fill up my fresh water tank. My fresh water tank's empty. My black water, which is the nasty water, okay, that's at empty, and that's empty. The gray is empty too. So throughout your camp trip, you want to just keep an eye on how full these are getting. Okay, so you could use electric or gas in this unit for your hot water. If you are plugged in, I'd use electric. Just push that, then you'll have hot water. If you're not using it, turn that off. If you don't have electric, you're going to be using the battery. So to be able to use that, you want to turn on your water pump, and you'll hear it. Okay, I can hear that. And if I choose to use gas for my heater, I could do that too. Okay. Oh, speaking of which, okay, here is my controls for the fridge. Flip that on, push this if you want to use gas, but if you're plugged in like I am, I'm plugged in the house, I'm using electric. All right. So we popped the bed out. I want to make sure this is, let's set up. Okay. All right. This is gonna be easier with two hands. Okay. I'm gonna loosen this up. Then I'm gonna take this all the way off. I'm gonna loosen this side. Take this all the way off. And I'm good to go. Here's my bunk. And in my bunk, I have this pole. Okay. The the bent side goes up, and you'll notice that there's two buttons right here. There's a hole to put it in over there. Make sure you don't put both these buttons in that hole. So I'm gonna click it to this bar, being very careful. Push this out. Okay. And I'm gonna show you. All right, here's the hole I was talking about. Make sure that this thing, both of these buttons don't go in this hole. Because if it does, like my son did, push the button, shove that all the way in there, and you're kind of stuck. You're gonna need to unscrew these things to be able to get it out, okay? Then you just put the mattress on. These are clean sheets. It's a duvet cover that gets washed after every rental. And we're good to go. I suggest you do bring your own bedding, okay? But definitely just keep the sheet on here because this is what gets washed after every rental. We got storage in here, storage down there, and in here, this turns into a bed. You just have to shake it off. Okay, it does, the legs don't unscrew, you kind of have to wiggle it off. And this turns into a bed also. In here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Okay, we got 4 camp chairs. We got a camp table, floodlight. We got garbage bags, extra hose. We've got lantern, extension cord, more cable. Okay. There's bowls, plates, and coffee maker, mugs, cleaning supplies. We got more cleaning supplies, silverware down. All right, when you're packing up, make sure you do things opposite. Raise all the jacks first. Okay, raise those up. I did have a client that broke all 4 jacks, 4 stabilizers, and that was a costly expense. And when you do bring these up, you got to make sure that you don't have anything hanging out. I had somebody poke a hole and it got caught right there, and unfortunately we have to replace the whole tent. That is about just the tent is $900 without tax, shipping, and labor to replace it. Ouch. All right, be careful. Let me know if you have any questions. You want to make sure that you don't empty your black water until the end of your trip, okay? You don't want to leave this open, kind of like your house. Your house is, the drain's always open, but you don't want to leave this open because you want the water in the black holding tank to accumulate. Because if you have this open and the water's always draining, then all the crap just piles up. All the poop just piles up. Okay. Here's the vent I was telling you about. Turn this on. Make sure that you do have the vent outside working. Okay. All right, for the bathroom. Pretty straightforward. Main thing you really need to know is that if you do use the toilet, there's no water right now, but you want to push if no one's used the toilet yet, go ahead and hold this down for about a minute so there's water at the bottom of the holding tank so that it's not all dry and stuff doesn't stick. Okay. But before you use it, go ahead and hold it halfway so the water fills up partially. Then just so it looks like a regular toilet. Instructions are right here. Then go ahead and use it. Okay. Down here, put a tiny bit of this blue odor eliminator in here, just a tiny bit, like a shot, and it does not take very much. extra toilet paper in there, and we're pretty much good to go. Okay, hopefully that answers all your questions. All right, hope you have a great trip. Let me know if you have any questions in the future. And again, oh, in here we got something for the bugs, lantern, extra flashlight, and first aid kit that I provide. Okay, here's your Bluetooth and stereo. You're good to go. Fan, if you are hot, you want to turn this on. This has to be open, then it'll work. Okay, but as soon as this closes, the fan does not work. Okay, make sure that it's closed on your trip, or else it's going to be really dusty in here. All right, have a great trip.